Hello and welcome to Intern Insights. I'm Dr. Bruce Finkley and I'm the internship coordinator for mass communication here at the University of Montevallo. Internships provide our students with valuable real-world experience, and this show highlights where our students intern and what they're learning there. Joining me on this episode is Faith Callens, who interned this summer with the Alabama News Network in Montgomery. Faith, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
So I want to start out with just finding out, what was a typical day like for you at the Alabama News Network?
So a typical day for me, it starts either at 9 in the morning or 1 in the afternoon. So you're either dayside or nightside. And typically in the morning meeting at a station, you have the rundown, and they go over all the station's
The story ideas for the day?
Yes, the station story ideas, the station schedule, and everything. And then after the rundown, you have your story ideas that you mentioned. And if your story idea gets approved, then you go out and you find your sources. And once you find your sources, you get to go out and shoot more content for that story.
So what did they have you specifically doing as an intern? Because I remember my days as an intern at a TV news station, and they would make us do all sorts of things. So what were some of the tasks that you would get?
Well, me, I was more like a solo reporter, more like a solo journalist, where I had to go and find my own news stories, my own story ideas, and pretty much put together my own packages and everything like that.
Okay. So, in the real world, newsroom is a fast-paced environment. How did you adapt to that type of speed of the work and just the constant pressure of the news never stops?
I'll say day by day, like you have to take it with like a grain of salt almost, a little bit. I would really just focus on myself and focus on the story as a whole and try to tell it the best way I could possibly can.
Mm-hmm. So what are some things that you learned here at UM before you went to your internship that once you got there you said, oh, I see why they teach us to do it this way? What are some of those things that kind of connect the classroom to your future career?
I'll say the writing aspect, writing for broadcast, is different from writing from print, so that was something I really had to learn. Also, I would say the editing techniques. So in the field, when I go to their station, it's like you have to use Premiere and Final Cut, and I had to learn how to use both of those at the same time, so it was something.
Well, and the good thing is those editing skills are transferable to any type of editing software. Right. That's something that we always talked about. Kind of once you learn the buttons on one platform, once you sit down at something else, the buttons may be in a little bit different place, but you understand the fundamentals. So what would you say was your biggest challenge as an intern at the Alabama News Network?
I would say editing. Like I said, I had to get used to doing both at the same time and then trying to also write a web story. So yeah, once I got a hang of that, I was good.
There you go. So what would you say was your greatest accomplishment while you were there?
I would say writing with a reporter, having to write her script for her, and then she's actually going back and write her own. That was something that I truly was accomplished.
I remember as an intern and when I was a producer here at Channel 13 in Birmingham, a lot of times I would call home and tell my mom, I'd be like, hey, make sure to watch it this time. And, when this story comes on, I wrote it. Did you get that type of experience hearing the words that you had written on air, the anchor delivering it? Did you get to have that experience too?
I did. At first, it was like, is this what I really want to say? Is this what I really want her to say? But as I got to doing it, it came natural.
Well, good. So, we've talked a lot about the challenges, the successes. What would you say was the most surprising thing that happened to you while you were at the Alabama News Network?
I would say getting to meet some people in some very high positions. Having to meet the mayor of Montgomery, being that I'm not from Montgomery, that was very exciting. And to also, I guess, go to the Montgomery chamber meetings and stuff like that, it was a great experience having to be in such a high position like that.
And I know I was talking with the news director, Glenn Halbrooks, while you were interning there, and he talked about you were working on your resume tape, and how was that process for you while you were there? It
was interesting. I really had a great time. The different stories I went and visited and recorded and filmed, I just really had a nice experience, and it wasn't bad.
Do you feel more prepared now for the classes that you're in and the ones you got to take before you graduate since you've had this internship experience?
I do. I feel very prepared.
Good, awesome. So if somebody else wanted to go to the Alabama News Network and intern in the future, what would be some advice that you would give them?
Do it. Don't stop. Don't let fear get you. Just do it and be the best that you can be and let your skills shine.
Awesome. Well, if you are interested in a mass communication internship, you have to be a junior or senior and you have to have completed 15 hours in the mass communication major. You also have to have a 2.5 GPA. Internship credit hours are variable. You can do as few as 1 or as many as 6. Internship hours are also offered every fall, spring, and summer term. And if you want more information about an internship or the process of applying, feel free to shoot me an email at bfinkley@montevallo.edu, or you can just drop by my office anytime in Strong Hall. You can also learn more about MassComm internships on our website, montevallo.edu/MC, and look on the right-hand side and you'll see the internship tab there. So that's all the time we have for this episode of Intern Insights. Faye, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about your experience this summer.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again next time.